if you're even thinking about selling your home in the Tulsa metro, I need you to hear this first. I am seeing homeowners walk away from $10, $20, even $50,000 simply because of a few avoidable decisions. And the hard part, most of them don't even realize it. If you or anyone you know is remotely thinking about selling your house in the next year, you have got to follow these steps. It's going to save you a whole lot of time, a whole lot of stress, and most importantly, a whole lot of money. I'm going to share with you the tips, tricks, and the things that you can do in a step-by-step process before you ever put your home on the market, while your home is on the market, and even right down to the day that you are going to close on your home. So grab a pen and a piece of paper. You're going to want to write these things down. I'm Jessica Ford, and I have lived in the Tulsa metro area for over 26 years. I'm one of the only AI certified agents in the world, and I specialize in helping people relocate to the Tulsa metro area, and I've got over 232 five-star reviews to prove it. So let's jump into this. Mistake number one, thinking that cleaning is enough. Most sellers think if I clean my house, I'm good. But no. In today's market, especially how competitive it is right now, you need to go beyond cleaning into presentation. And that means cleaning from the top down. Think about curb appeal, cleaning your windows, gutters, flower beds, power washing, cutting bushes back, cleaning your entryway and any leaves that may be there or any mud daubers that have tried to build a nest. Then when you go inside, remove excess furniture, clearing off the countertops, opening up the space so the buyers can fill the flow. Boxing up any non-essentials, because buyers don't think logically. They walk into a home and they feel the energy of the home. And if it feels crowded or overwhelming, you have already lost leverage. Then mistake number two is underestimating your photos. Your first showing is not someone who walks through the door. It's your photos online. People will stalk your house online first before they ever make an appointment. And in Tulsa's market, buyers are scrolling fast. If your home doesn't stand out in seconds, they'll just skip it and move on. So professional photography and videography is not optional at this level. It is one of the highest ROI decisions that you will make in selling your home. So here's the pearl. If you live in an HOA, you have community, you want to make sure that there's photographs of the pool, the tennis court, and absolutely anything that goes along with the lifestyle of that house. Does your neighborhood have walking trails? Does it have food trucks on Friday nights? Highlight that. Because you're not just selling your home, you are selling a lifestyle. Now, that's a few things that you want to do, but here's a mistake that you can make, and most people do it. So let's jump into it. So one of the things that people miss, and they miss it with real estate agents, and agents miss it all the time, it is listing the property in as-is condition. It's one of the costs that is it costs the sellers the most amount of money. When you label your house as is, buyers translate that into a lot of projects that they're going to inherit, or that there is a problem. And what happens is you attract investors, lowballers, or people who are looking for a deal of a lifetime. So instead of strong buyers that are wanting to pay market value, you can still sell it in current condition without labeling it as is. Keep that buyer pool wide. And here's how you protect the price. You have to understand that you're leaving a whole lot of money on the table, tens of thousands of dollars, because you say that you want to sell it as is condition because you don't want to repair the roof. Or you don't know until you get into the transaction what may happen. You may not even have to replace the roof. You don't know until the buyer comes in and actually has an inspector that says, hey, that roof is 10 to 12 years old. It may not be insurable at this point. So in just a second, I'm going to show you what to do and what not to do to save money there. But the home inspector may say, hey, you do need to replace the roof, but there are other options that are available. You could say, you know what? Okay, we will agree to do that, but we're going to escrow the money and do the roof after closing. Or another thing that we could do is get with a roofing company and have that roof done 5 days before the closing, and then you can pay that roofing company out of the proceeds of the sale. Are you with me? So oftentimes people don't have $15,000 to $25,000 to replace a roof on the house or to change the hot water tank that's past its life expectancy, as a home inspector would say, or the central heat and air is cooling, but it's 20 years old and they want a new one because it's iffy. Either way, I would suggest not putting as is, because once you put it as is, any buyer, first time home buyer, move up buyer, it really doesn't matter. They're going to look at that as it's a headache, it's not worth the trouble, it's stressful, and then they'll just completely overlook your house. And anytime they do that, you lowered the margin of the buyers that can buy your home. So you go from a buyer pool that is this wide and you whittle it down to just a narrow pool. And that is a mistake. Mistake number 4 is waiting for a buyer to discover problems. If you want a smooth sale, have a pre-inspection of your home and then you can control the narrative early. 90% of transactions that fall through are because of an inspection. A buyer magnifies it, especially if they're first-time home buyers. Most people don't know construction. Honestly, most real estate agents don't know about construction. Unfortunately, there's no requirement for realtors learning about what we're selling. Most people don't know that a fog double pane window, you don't have to replace the whole window. Most people don't know what a double tap breaker is. Most people can't tell you the difference between a copper wiring or aluminum wiring, which I just had a contract fall apart over. The seller thought that they were selling a home that had copper wiring, and the inspector discovered that it was all aluminum wiring, and it freaked the buyer out. So those are things that anyone out there needs to know. So it's important to have your home pre-inspected. When you have your home pre-inspected, you can have the report done, and then you have everything that's on that list that's negative repaired before it gets listed. And then you're going to want to leave a copy of that on the kitchen table so that any buyer can see the receipts and they can see that all of these things have been repaired. That means pre-listing inspection, HVAC check, a roof evaluation, a termite inspection, because surprises are what cause deals to fall apart. I see this all the time. Buyers get overwhelmed during inspections. They start renegotiating hard. And then when you handle all of this up front, you remove all of those question marks that come up. And the most important thing is that you remove the fear, because the fear is what kills deals. Mistake number 5 is saying no to closing costs. I hear this all the time. I don't want to pay any closing costs. I do understand that instinct. And while, here's what you have to understand. It's not coming out of your pocket. It's coming out of the proceeds, which is technically out of your pocket, but you're not writing anyone a check. You're not going to go to the bank and pull out that cash. The closing company, when they close the transaction, whatever's written in the contract, if you're paying somebody $6,000 to $7,000 in closing costs, it goes to them. It's really just a transference of numbers, whether that's on the buyer side or the seller side. So here's what's really happening. If you advertise that, you're potentially eliminating a large portion of the buyers. And the number one group of home buyers right now is 40 years old. It's the highest it's ever been in the history of the United States. 40 years old. And actually in the last 2 years, in the market of 2024, 2025, it's been a slow market for first-time home buyers, mainly because the interest rates went up significantly. So here's what you need to understand. Whether you're watching this video 5 years from now into the future, please know the closing cost frees up the buyer to be able to purchase your house because they may not have a lot of liquid cash. Many buyers have strong income, strong credit, but they want to preserve that cash. So when you offer flexibility, you increase that demand, and more demand equals stronger offers. I'm going to show you some really cool things to do and how to market to get the house sold. I'm trying to run through here as quick as I can. Be patient with me. If you like this video so far, give me a thumbs up, subscribe, and be sure that you ask questions in the comments. So, mistake number 6 is pricing based on emotion. Your home is valuable. It holds lots of memories, but a house is only worth what a seller is willing to sell it for. But most importantly, it's truly only worth what a buyer is willing to buy it for. But the market doesn't price based on emotion. I look at what an appraiser would look at. They're going to look at a similar size square foot within a 0.15 margin in the same neighborhood and in an area that has sold within the last 6 months, and amenities to come up with a range of value. So it's priced based on recent sales, buyer demand, condition, location, and in the Tulsa metro. Pricing it correctly up front will determine whether you have great momentum or whether it sits on the market. And time on the market always costs in perception and carrying costs. Price is what will get people through the door. So mistake number 7, letting unqualified people through the door. You want serious buyers. You want verified pre-approval if it's proof of funds, if it's cash. Qualified people protect your time, your safety, and your negotiating position. And when buyers come through the door, you want to make sure what I call a spec sheet on your home. Anything that you've replaced, you've done, you've improved, anything over the years that you've owned the home, you want to create a simple spec sheet for that. Not only do you want to create a spec sheet, you want to put some prices out beside that because there is a cost associated with it and people want to know, oh, hey, they've taken great care of this house and this is the cost that they've put into this home. So if you take nothing else from this video, take this. The way that you strategically prepare your home determines how much money you'll walk away with. I hope that this is good information for you. And if you want a clear plan tailored specifically for your home, your timing and your goals, give me a call, shoot me a text, schedule a Zoom. My team and I would love to help you navigate this the right way. And if you're thinking about living in Tulsa, moving to Tulsa, or relocating within the Tulsa metro area, make sure that you subscribe, hit that bell for notification, and I'll see you in the next video.